Since the birth of the Corps, we have answered the call. Through every battle, in every climb, in every place. No matter the odds, no matter the obstacle. We adapt, we overcome, and close with and destroy the enemy. We know the future will not be the same, but the one thing we know will always remain is the Marine. For 250 years, we have formed ranks and held the line. And we will for the next 250.
Marine Corps is a far-flung organization. Detachments of Marines are serving in every Navy Yard, naval station, and guarding every naval activity everywhere in the world. I visited a great many of those places. Everywhere I heard expressions of goodwill towards the Marines. Everywhere I observed the friendly relations existing between the people and the Marines.
For 2.5 centuries, we have shouldered the responsibility of freedom on behalf of our nation. Every battle fought, every sacrifice made has been etched into our legacy.
We're Marines. We always find a way to work things out. No matter what happens anywhere, we can make something happen that'll turn the tide of battle.
We are that adaptable to whatever the situation is. We trust our corporals with more responsibility, our lieutenants with more responsibility, our lieutenant colonels with more responsibility than any other branch of service, because we do more with less. There's no other branch that can do that.
It's by far the greatest institution still in my mind on the face of the planet, because not everybody can be a Marine. You have to earn the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. And I think that's what attracts the type of people that the Marine Corps has.
Every Marine who has earned the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor bears a responsibility that stands the test of time to the Marines, past, present, and future.
We don't join the Marine Corps. We are the Marine Corps. Core of our being is that we're convinced we're the best fighting force in the world, and the truth is, we are.
I believe the immediate bond between Marines is so strong just because of the way we're trained. We have a very specific niche culture of, greatness, our heritage, our warrior ethos. I think all those things, separate us, and we find them in each other.
You may have a reason why you join, but there's a reason why you stay. You stay because of everything you're learning about how to be a warrior, how to maintain those warrior ethics, so that when that bomb goes off, you're ready to do your part.
As Marines, our warrior mindset is something that can never be defeated. For 250 years, the Marine Corps has been successful because that's the only option. Success is all we know.
The character of war has and will continue to change. We have adapted, evolved, and innovated, but our warrior spirit remains consistent.
The nature of war is taking something that somebody else has that you want, and it's never changed, probably never will change. The character of war, however, has changed a lot. World War II, we used ships, planes, bombs. All the way to today, we use, as you can tell by the news, we use ships, planes, bombs. We just have a lot better technology.
I don't know that one battlefield's ever been the same for any generation. The types of war, the ways of war, all that is constantly going to be changing What's going to decide our next and our future wars is not going to be the technology, it's not going to be money, it's going to be the level of the belief of our people, of what they believe in, and the standards that they hold themselves to.
We are more lethal, more capable, and more ready than ever, while grounded in the traditions that made us who we are. We will not win the next fight on platforms alone. It is the Marine who will break the will of the enemy.
As Marines, I believe the most powerful aspect of our training and such an important part of who we are, holding on to that history that came before us. The Marine Corps is lethal because of our willingness and our eagerness to take the fight to the enemy in any climb or place and win those battles, sometimes at any cost.
Our history is not only a story of battles won, it is a story of people, of commitment, of family, an unbreakable bond that transcends ranks and lasts a lifetime.
I think the only way to honor them is to live a life that's worthy of their sacrifices. And the only way that you can do that is by going out and being the best that you can be, by going out and by still upholding those standards as a Marine, by celebrating them, by telling their stories and giving the next generation some legacy to live up to.
Cream rises to the top, and that's what we have in the Marine Corps today. The Marine Corps is the operational Marine Corps, but there's another aspect of the Marine Corps. It's the former Marines or former active duty who are out there in all walks of life. It's amazing when you think of it.
Being in service was a privilege. It was the best time of our lives, but it was a sacrifice, and your family is part of that sacrifice. And Marine wives or Marine spouses, they deserve a lot of credit as well. The kids being uprooted, moving, it's a sacrifice to serve our country.
Without the support of their loved ones and their immediate family, it's hard for them to complete their job. So again, it's so important for military families and Marine Corps families to understand that their role and the role that they play in supporting their loved one while serving is just as important.
For 250 years, we have proven there is no better friend and no worse enemy than a U.S. Marine.
For those people who wish evil upon the greater good, David Bellavia said it best, you know, somebody else will raise your children.
To the enemies of our nation, don't get comfortable. Whether you're in the air, at sea, or on the ground, we adapt. We always have, and we always will.
If it comes down to one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and you turn us loose, I can promise you this, you're not going to survive.
From our first amphibious landing at Nassau, to the black sands of Iwo Jima, to urban combat in Fallujah, our Corps has come a long way since Samuel Nichols first took command of 2 battalions at Tun Tavern. Though weapons, platforms, and technology continue to evolve, our individual Marines' grit, discipline, resolve remain our decisive advantage.
For 2.5 centuries, Marines have preserved our legacy as America's premier expeditionary force, because we are forward, ready, and lethal. When the moment a Marine earns their Eagle Globe and Anchor, they inherit a rich tradition of honor, courage, and commitment, a legacy that is etched on our souls forever. Our history is one of winning our nation's battle, and make no mistake, we will be called to fight again. We will be ready, and we will win.
Since our foundation, we have fought in every climb and place, upholding our oath and preserving who we are, the few and the proud. But we cannot break stride. We must continue to train for the next fight, because victory will go to those who seize the initiative, impose their will, and never yield. The pursuit of excellence in the profession of arms is our heritage, forged by an unbreakable fighting spirit. The memorial behind us stands as a testament to that fact. We stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us. We must not fail them. The challenge is on all of us every day to uphold the standard that the title Marine demands.
Happy 250th birthday, Marines. Semper Fidelis.
I love it. I love it. It gets me motivated every time I listen to each one of those every year that they come out. It just, and 250 just makes it something a little cool. So welcome everybody to a Monday edition of Homefront Sitrep. It is the 250th birthday special. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Tired. Took some rest yesterday. Took off to Florida on Thursday, jumped Friday, jumped in the plane Friday night, flew to Nashville, jumped for Vandy Saturday, and then Philly got canceled due to weather and this mess that we're dealing with here in Kentucky today. And I know Theory's happy because it's friggin' snowing and he loves Christmas and all the cold and all this other stuff, but man, he can keep it. But no, just hung out here at the house today, ran around. I had lunch with my buddy Mark. Got some pretty good, cool gifts from him. And then
I know I saw.
Cook some dinner. Yeah, man, I tell you, it's I'm gonna sneak it on in here.
Yeah, I seen that. I was talking about the other thing. That coin that you've been looking for forever.
You know, I mean,
Trevor,
it's hard to find, right? You can't find it. You have to get it from the command. They don't sell it even in the PX. So it's one of those things that him and a couple of my other buddies went together and made the coin. There's 4 of them in existence. I have 1 and the other 3 have the other 3. So it's pretty cool. And it's the last unit that I ever served with. And it just rounds out it's ironic, but my whole unit board here of 24 different, units and stations and ships and all that good stuff. But yeah, finally get to add that last one to the shelf back here. And my Marine Corps career via challenge coins is complete.
Heck yeah. So there's people on TikTok saying that Maine Aloha Blessing is saying Maine got snow a few days ago. So yeah, man, I tell you what,
yeah, my family posted
I love snow myself personally. I love it. Yeah, I love snow myself. I can't wait till we get 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 inches. I'd love it. But
yeah, man, because you don't have to work.
Look at all these Marines coming. So yeah, right. I get to sit in the office. Trevor Spears with Ula Cocktails is in the building, Marine Corps veteran. So want to say hello to him. Richard T. Fuller's in the house. How are you, sir? Yeah. My buddy Basil, he's an Army guy. He's in the house as well. So today we're doing something a little different on Homefront Sitrep. Today is the Marine Corps birthday special that we're having here on the show. just so happened to be on Monday, which is awesome for us. So we get to have a bunch of Marines on the show from all over the country. So if you're a Marine and you want to join, say something in the message here, and I'll send you the invite. You can come up here as well, because we want to have all Marines on the show. We can have 10 on the screen at a time. So yeah, let's do that. Gunny, I can't remove the birthday message. So if you want to remove that, go ahead and do that for me if you don't mind. I'm ready to bring everybody up. So let's bring up Travis Clark, Mike Hastet, Mr. Anthony, Mr. Stone Cold Cletus Evans, and Mr. Theory. How are you Marines doing today on this beautiful day?
Hoorah! Happy birthday.
Fantastic. Happy birthday.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
So, Travis, how are you, sir?
Brother, I am doing fantastic. My wife and I bought our forever home in July. We welcomed our daughter to the world August 1st, unfortunately 9 weeks early, but we got her home in late September, and she is thriving and doing wonderful. Praise be to God for all that. I got nothing to complain about, brother. Everything is fantastic.
All right, somebody's got a lot of back feed. Who's got the back feed?
It's probably
I think
me.
it's Mike. I think Mike's got the back feed. Yep, Mike, you got some back feed there, buddy.
I can have. Hold on, I got it.
All right. So
I'm gonna plug into my station because my other charger didn't work.
I got you. So Mike said they got 18 inches in Chicago. All right. So we're Marines from all different eras of service. We got Gunny and I, we served 97. I got out in 04. Gunny got out, 2011? 2011. Travis, when did you serve?
05 to 16.
So 05 to 16. Mr. Stone Cold Cletus Evans, when did you serve, sir?
I think I'm the old guy of the group, 1985 to 2008.
So 19, woof, yeah, you might be just a little bit. Anthony, when did you serve?
11 to 15.
11 to 15. Mike, when did you serve?
89 to 92.
Hey, there you go.
All right.
I was trying. I was about ready to say I was the old.
Look at you, man.
Theory, when did you start, Theory?
2010 to 2015.
So yeah, so we got the spectrum, the late 80s to current covered pretty much. I wish we have some, newer Marines that are still in. I think that would be cool to have some, a couple of the new guys that are still in. But yeah, if they want to join, they can. Doc, how are you, sir? Thank you for the happy birthday. So tonight, man, I just want to have a good old birthday special and talk about whatever. We could talk about war stories from when we were in. We could talk about things that are going on globally, whatever you guys want to talk about. But first, I want to play this video, and this video so everybody get a good laugh at this video.
I tell you, it's motivated. It motivated me.
The United States Marine Corps, baby, you would not understand. Okay. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
How did I know you were gonna play my video, dude?
There's always one. There's always one.
I fucking knew it. No, I felt a little crazy today. I told the wife, I was like, today, you know what today is, right? And she's like, yes, I know what today is. She's been with me 12 years, and we met when I was active duty.
So she's conditioned. She knows.
Yeah, she's very conditioned, and she was actually we were dating maybe 6-7 months, and she was on the van pad at the Mal's when I got pinned on corporal, and she was there for that promotion. So she's been around. Used to sit with me on night crew when I was a night crew supervisor, production control for the air wing, and she would just sit with me all night and watch movies. So she's well aware of Marine Corps birthdays, and I was like, okay, so I don't drink anymore. I'm almost 2 years sober now, so I feel like I don't celebrate it properly anymore, seeming as we were founded in a tavern. So I was like, what can I do? So I was like, what can I do to still show that I'm slightly mentally unstable, but put together at the same time? And I was like, all right, I know what I'm going to do. And I came out of our bedroom in boxers and shirtless with my tall Wolverine knee socks and my Hey Dude slippers and a USMC beanie, and I had the flag in my hand, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, watch this. And I walked outside to my backyard, and I stood up on my on my railing and sang the Marine Corps hymn for all my neighbors to give them one.
Yeah, I forget who told me. I forgot who told me about that video, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Dude, I'm clipping that. I'm going to throw it up on the show tonight."
Yeah, Julie
so
Julie messaged me and she was like, "I've watched this video an unreasonable amount of times." It's like, yeah.
Well, I saw the Facebook one, and your wife's inside. She's like, "What is he doing?" And he just through the screen.
I had to
on the
edit.
railing. She was like, "Oh shit," because it was snowing.
Yeah, I had to edit. I had to edit some of that. I was like, I got to edit some of that just because of the
It was snowing, so she didn't want me to like slip and break my neck or something because it's like a 10-foot drop. So,
oh man! All right, so Travis, what did you do in the Marine Corps, Travis?
From 2005 to 2010, I was in 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, and then I got married and allowed my ex-wife to dictate my career move, and I wound up in the Mals at 26 in New River. Hated every freaking minute of that, but thankfully my sergeant major, while I was running the S3 shop, saw fit to let me go to the rifle range and be a PMI for a couple of years. So kind of bounced around the last few years, but I really, as much as the ground side sucks, it's like the best part of the Marine Corps, in my opinion. But that's just, that's just me. I feel like the brotherhood and the camaraderie there was a lot stronger than it was in the air wing. Don't get me wrong. The air wing Mal's guys, we get just as stupid and crazy as you can see from his video. Although I got to dock some points for him being in boxers and not silkies. But thinking, God, I've been this year would mark 19 years since I stepped on the yellow footprints, and I feel like it was forever ago, and yet at the same time, yesterday. I am thankful that my wife did not know me back then, because she probably would not be with me right now. As crazy as I used to be. I'm not sure what else. I said,
no, you're good, man. If that's,
how do you think Cletus feels? It's been 40 years for him.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but I was born in 87. I wasn't even a twinkle on my daddy's eye when he went in. So,
right.
All right, Cletus.
What's that?
I know your story, but I said I know your story, but these guys don't. Let's go ahead and tell your story. What did you do in the Marine Corps? And because I know you.
So I was lazy in school. I was smart, but I just decided to take the lazy path, and then met this recruiter 2 months before I'm graduating. Took us to West Point, Kentucky. We went rappelling off the side of that backside of that cliff there. Never tried to sell the Corps to me. Shows back up the following Wednesday and says, "You're Evans, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." He says, "I noticed you haven't taken ASVAB." And I said, "That's right, because I'm going to college." And so he antagonized me enough to say, "Well, the ASVAB is pretty hard. Not everybody can pass it." And I said, "I'll take the damn test." And he didn't want to let me at first, but he knew what he was doing. That's why he was recruiter of the year 2 years in a row. And so I take the test. I come back, and he's standing outside my car on Friday afternoon, full dress blues, lays down that little mini version of MOS manual, says, "You can have any fucking job you want in here." And next thing I know, I'm heading off to 29 Palms after boot camp for CNE school. And every bit of it. The first assignment was 2nd Amtracs. Floated with them up to and through the Gulf about 4 times. Came back from that, bit the bullet, got married, started pumping out kids. Atlett moved to a 2823 MOS, which is called a tech controller. I'm not sure how I can explain it, but you just kind of play around with a lot of comm equipment and make it work. So by the time I hit staff sergeant, I felt like I had too many kids, so I needed more money. So I converted. I'm a 0. So on my 4th try, I got selected to be a warrant officer. But let me tell you why I didn't make it the first time. So they have screening boards that set, all across the major commands. And I go in, I'm like the second guy in, bunch of damn warrant officers and one LDO captain. First question, why do you want to be a warrant officer? I said, have you seen the pay increase? That is not the right answer. Okay. But that's the most truthful answer, because that's what I was doing. And so here's Cletus from Kentucky going to TBS in January of '97, and I get counseled the first day with my roommate, because surely enough, now get this, now I was in my best shape, man. I could run about 20, 30, probably about a 280 PFT sometimes, but out of 200 warrant officers, there were like 35 of them that barely passed the damn PFT. So these fat fucks got on remedial, okay? So they're out in the courtyard there where we were at, and my barracks window saw them. So we opened the window up. And y'all remember that Jock Jam CD with, what was it, Michael Buffer? He says, let's get ready to rumble.
Yep.
We blared this son of a bitch as loud as we could and said, come on, fat ass, get on that bar. 1, tubby, 2, hazing the fuck out of him. Next thing you know, somebody's banging on our door. It's the XO of the company. He says, what are you two motherfuckers doing? We're trying to hold a goddamn company meeting downstairs. I didn't know our room was right above the fucking company meeting. And that was the first of 9 counselings, guys, that Cletus got at warrant officer school. And I got the third worst fucking leadership grade, and still graduated 88th out of that motherfucker. And the CO, I've got this paper framed. The CO of TBS, of India Company, was a major. And he said, Warrant Officer Evans thinks TBS is a joke and should never be an instructor here. And I said, thank you, sir. As I never want to come back to this fucking place. And so that was kind of it. I went to Okinawa for 3 years, had another kid over there, came back, did time in acquisitions at Marcor Syscom, got divorced. It's part of the package. Still get along with my ex really well. And that's when I went back to Okie for a year in order to get the 2nd Marine Division for my last 5. And then spent 2 years in Iraq. We all know how wonderful a shithole that is. All of 2005 in Camp Blue Diamond, which was right next to Ramadi, and then all of 2007 in Fallujah, which was, like kind of like night and day. Sometimes I remember. But after that, the writing was on the wall. It seemed like me and about 2 other guys were the only ones rotating as electronics maintenance officers. So I had my time in. I was #1 in zone for major. Flipped them the middle bird, told them not to pick me, and came back in January of 2008, took 85 fucking days of leave, 5 days at a time, Monday through Friday, just to piss this colonel off. And used all my weekends, all my 96s. I think I had like maybe 9 work days in 7 months. So, of course, I was the command duty officer for the division all 9 days, but it's okay. They fuck you good over there at 2nd Marine. And then I retired one day, got married to my junior prom date the next day. We've been married 17 years. And here in Louisville, I'm lucky enough to get to do the Toys for Tots program. That's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, so I've known Cletus for quite some time now, and I tell you what,
your credibility is going to go down, buddy.
I know, right?
Don't say that very loud.
I'm about to say, I'm about to say, I don't know this guy, but no, the Toys for Tots program here in Louisville. There's Matt. Let me bring him up too. Cletus does really wonderful with that, man. He got me to join the Marine Corps League Detachment 729, and it's just phenomenal to go in there, and everybody's just, it's a brotherhood, like no other. There's Vietnam vets there, there's younger guys there, and then plus you got the old guys as well. So, man, All right, Mr. Anthony, you're up, sir. Tell us about you, my friend.
All right. Well, I was a 65-41, so I was a winger. I built bombs and gun systems for Harriers. I did my 4. I wanted to re-up, but like any good Marine, I got in trouble, got NJP'd, and pulled my re-enlistment package. I'm married. I got 4 kids. I'm a minister, a tattoo artist, and I got injured when I was in. I had to learn how to walk again, and it was an experience. But
awesome.
Well, we're glad you're here, man.
Yeah,
we are glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is fun. A little nerve-wracking, but it's good.
It's we're popping that cherry for you. Your first time, so welcome. All right, Mike, you're up, sir. Tell everybody about yourself.
Semper Fi, brothers. Semper Fi. Right. So, I'm a unique Marine. I got in the Marine Corps on a congressional waiver. I wrote Congress for this happy horse shit. Right? They voted me in. So I chose my destiny to become a Marine because that's what I wanted to do. I told Congress when I worked with them at 18, if Sugar Ray Leonard can get in the boxing ring and box with 2 sclerical buckles, I can go serve in the Marine Corps. And they voted me in. Right? And so I was a fat body. I was a fat body when I was in boot camp, right? Had a drill instructor that told me, you're going to push until I sweat. I said, what'd he say? What'd he say? Push until you sweat. What? Okay. But I came out. I was one of the highest PFTers that got out. I was on a mission, and I still am. Right. I probably would have been a career one. If not, I was a 5811. If y'all know that, you've probably ran into them a couple times. They're MPs, right?
Yeah.
And so
I ran into them.
But I was on 13 area main side and got a beer glass smashed in my face, and I lost my other eye. Right. And so at that time they really didn't. They said you couldn't do your first duty and being a Marine, so we're gonna put you out. And so that's I got out of the Marine Corps, and then I was a pretty violent one at that point in time, anyways, because all I knew was to grab necks and put them on the ground. But so I did several other things, and then I came like 2000. Well, in 2009, I was going to the VA, and they were prescribing me like 250 Percocet per month, 7.5s without seeing a doctor, right? And I didn't really like that shit, right? And so I made a change in like 2016, 2017 to go to Las Vegas and get on a cannabis regimen. And you guys have heard my story. I've created a company called U.S. Freedom Farms. We deal in industrial hemp and CBD products for veterans. We build veteran businesses. Right now, I've shared a link with some people that we have a new product coming out that's it's called Bukashi. It comes from over in Okinawa, Japan. I was there for almost 8 months from over there. I was at Kinzer. I was at Fatima, right? And this new Bukashi is something that a lot of veterans are going to be proud of because we can save our farmers' grounds. It remediates soil. It's grown with industrial hemp, and we can stop all that input cost and build America from the inside. And that's really what I'm all about, right? is taking care of our own. We've let our stuff go to the wayside, but yeah, I'm motivated and dedicated, and I will rock this world. That's how I am.
There you go. There you go. Awesome. All right, Mr. Theory.
Yeah.
You're up,
so
sir.
Some of y'all know me and my story already. I'll kind of put it in a Cliff Notes version. So I was also kind of a lazy student, smart but lazy, didn't have any drive or work ethic, couldn't keep a job, didn't want to. And I actually had gone into, my buddy right out of high school had joined the Navy. And he apparently, without my knowledge, gave my information to his recruiter and told him to call me. And I did not approve of that, because this gentleman gives me a call and says, hey, this individual had given me your name and said you were interested in possibly joining the Navy when you get out of high school. And I was like, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted nothing to do with the military. Not that I didn't support it. I just didn't think it was for me. And so when I went, I decided to just entertain the idea. So I went over there and, listened to his spiel, and I didn't like it. And so when I graduated, I lost a very good job. And my mom was like, well, you're either going to go back to school and go to college, or you're going to join the military. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do either of those things, but sure. And I ended up going into the Air Force recruiter just to entertain my mother. And he told me that they had to check my credit when they were doing my little thing, for background checks and stuff. And I was like, hold on a second. So you're telling me right now that if I agree to get into your branch of service, the only way I can do that, and if I'm willing to lay my life down for my country, I may not be able to do that in your branch of service if I don't have good credit? And he was like, unfortunately, that's just the rules, man. And I was like, have a good day. So we walk. I was with my mom. We get up, we walk out, and we pass the Army recruiting room, because all the branches were in this same recruiting station, right? We passed the Army room, and there was some fat, overweight dude in camis that looked way too tight for him. And I was like, that's gross. True story. And then we walked past the Navy. I already entertained that, didn't want to do it. And I walked past the Marines, and they were playing Xbox on the TV doing pull-ups. And I was like, what's this about? My mom was like, no. You can join any branch. I don't want you joining the Marine Corps. I don't want you being on the front lines. And I was like, fair enough. So we left, got in the car, and I told my mom I left my ID in the Air Force recruiter's office. I did not. And I went to the Marine Corps room, and the recruiter looked at me, and he's like, how many pull-ups can you do? He didn't ask me my name. He didn't ask me my age. He didn't give a shit. He was just like, how many pull-ups can you do? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, he's like, get on the bar. So I got on the bar. I did like 7 or 8 pull-ups. And he was like, you only need to do 3 to join boot camp. He's like, you want to join the Marine Corps? And I was like, let me see what it's about. I went to one PT session, and they slayed me and worked me so hard that I vomited all over the parking lot at the recruiting station. And I was immediately in love. And I was like, where do I sign? So my mom was on board. I joined in 2010. My original MOS was a 6483. I was an electronic countermeasures technician. I worked on missile detection systems for Hueys and Cobras. Worked on PRQ-7 radios, heads-up displays for the birds, all that stuff. And then I was fapped out to production control for our AVI department. And I was at MALS 29. So I was in a nice air-conditioned mobile facility with the captain and the warrant officer and the master guns. And I was getting pampered. So it was pretty nice. I got out in 2015. I met my wife in 2013. And a year and a half into our relationship, she ended up getting pregnant. So I was going to re-enlist, and I decided not to, because I would rather be here for this little one. And, God forbid, if something happens, to me overseas or, anything like that, and she grows up without a dad, or with a dad that has more problems, I guess.
Right.
You know, missing limbs or something like that. I just didn't want to deal with all that. I'm family first kind of person, so I decided to get out. I verped out, which is the voluntary enlisted early release program. My MOS qualified for it, so I got out 183 days early, and I just kind of cruised around life after that. And then in 2019, I had a really bad anxiety attack after fleeing from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and there was a hurricane that happened, and I ended up losing everything. I lost my car, lost the place we were living. We came to Louisville, Kentucky to wait out the storm, but the place that we were living back in North Carolina got all jacked up. We had nowhere to go back to, so we stayed in a Red Cross shelter and 2 hotels here, and just decided to start fresh. So that's how I ended up here in Louisville. And 2 weeks after we signed our first lease for our first apartment, I ended up having that anxiety attack. I was in the hospital for it. It was really bad. I borderline was having a heart attack, according to the doctor. And he said I needed to find a way to curb my stress. Otherwise, I was going to not be so lucky the next time around. And so I ended up doing music to kind of have an outlet for that negative energy. And I've been doing music now in like professionally for almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years in February. And I just signed with my very first official record label, Southbound Records, and they're out of Nashville, Tennessee. Dude's a business owner, and he's got a huge budget, and he's going to be investing quite a bit of money into me and kind of pushing me out there, paying for all of our marketing and advertisements, merch, and all that stuff. Really doing what a label is supposed to do for their artists to grow and develop them and get them out to that next level. So I'm really excited. If you guys like hip hop music, I make pretty good hip hop music. Yeah, I love this song.
This is one of his songs that I love.
Yeah.
I had it queued up, bro. I was just waiting for the cue.
This is nothing. Wait till the new stuff comes out, man.
I know, I'm excited. I miss Sadie. Can she hear me?
Yeah, I'm just cruising in the whip. Got my homies in the backseat, riding down a 6-4, bumping to the backbeat. Got a couple bottles.
So I'm just gonna give them a taste. So
Yeah.
now you need to go follow Theory, TH30RY. Go follow him on all social or all platforms where you get your music at. So go follow Theory.
So
all right,
that's
Matt,
my
you're
story,
up, sir.
Oh no, it's my turn.
Yes, sir. You're up, brother.
All right. Well, first of
Hi,
all,
Miss
sorry I'm
Sadie.
late.
No, you're good, brother.
Sorry I'm late. I've been super busy this last weekend. I was doing a fundraiser in Australia while I'm sitting here at my house. Buddy of mine works, was offered the opportunity to go do some work with a children's foundation, and they wanted to stream it live on TikTok, and I was doing it all night long. So my sleep schedule got all messed up, and I slept. So I sound like I just woke up because I did. So I am, let's see, how do I start this? My story, I'm a 2111 small arms tech. But my journey to becoming a Marine was kind of different than most. I grew up in my family were in drugs and alcohol and in and out of trap houses, and we moved a bunch. I mean, I wasn't in like LA drug houses. I was in Oklahoma and Texas drug houses. I had the cops' guns in my face many times growing up, and my stepdad beat the shit out of me a bunch, and he was in the Army, and I never looked at anything else. I was going to be a Marine because I was going to be better than him. And my biological dad's a heroin addict, been in and out of prison my whole life. And I was told I was just like my dad. So I was trying to figure out a way to not be like my dad. And right after 9/11, I remember sitting there in school. I failed the 7th grade and 9th grade, and I went to an alternative school And I was sitting in this school in this class. Correction, my grandmother called me while I was at home because I only went to school 4 hours a day, and I worked every night and closed up McDonald's. I was a shift manager at McDonald's and closed at night, got home at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I would sit in my room until I fell asleep. And then I'd go to school at noon and go do that. But I remember my grandmother calling me and waking me up, telling me that we were being attacked. And she said, turn on the news. And I said, cool. And I rolled over and went back to sleep. And then I was like, wait, what? So it woke me up and I saw the other plane hit the tower. And that was all day, right? So sitting in class, we were watching the TV, and it was the defining moment of my future. And I joined the Marine Corps to kill and die. That was my whole mission. Kill and die. I had no grander idea. There was nothing for me other than the Marine Corps and to kill and die. And I went to the recruiter and was like, this is what I'm doing. And they said, wait, what? I said, I want to leave tomorrow. And they go, that's not possible. I said, okay, well, let's go as soon as we can. And then I went, and I graduated in May, and in August I was gone. I remember my mom standing at the porch as my recruiter picked me up, and we drove away. Right? She's standing there crying. She was like, "You're not going. You're not going." I said, "I'm 18 years old. I'm doing what I want." And went boot camp, MCT, MOS school, and then right after MOS school, I was in Fallujah. Not Fallujah, Kuwait. And in the beginning, my first tour, I was there March 17th, 2003. We pushed in with 7th Engines, and I remember getting into Ramadi, and after Ramadi there was nothing, right? We got to Ramadi, and then we were creating our own camps as we went. And I tell people, for us, it was quite literally, we were circling the wagon, and just to stay safe. I remember one time right before night, we had a meeting, everybody come together, and they were like, hey, at night, if you hear coyotes, don't poke your head out of your tent. But why? Because snipers, and they're sounding like coyotes, so that anybody that pokes their head up. So I remember sitting there. We were in 2-man tents, right? That's just what we had, 2-man tents as we moved forward, and it was right at dusk, and they did the siren, and that's everybody's, dawn clear, full mop gear. At that same time, there's coyote sounds. My freaking tent mate, man, was just running back and forth in the tent, freaking out. And then obviously nothing, but we finally went to sleep, and we moved forward, and we got to Baghdad, and we were in Baghdad 4 days, and then we pulled back to Edson College. We called it Camp Edson. It was a local college there right outside Baghdad that we took over. And I don't remember much of anything other than from there we went in.
Are you getting in the shower?
Bro, hold on, I'm muted.
From there we went to Babylon. I went to Babylon 5 times. And then came home. And then in August of 2005, we went back, and that's when we were that's when we were in Fallujah. I was in Camp Fallujah for the Second Battle of Fallujah, 04 to 05, and I did nothing crazy. Right? I stayed in camp, stayed in the wire, except for when we were building the wire. Right? And then I got home and I didn't complete my mission. And then I got kicked out of the Marine Corps. I got an OTH in September of 05 for failure to adapt. And I struggled for 10 years. For 10 years, I struggled having the OTH. The OTH is something that still haunts me. Well, not as much as it did. I had some job opportunities that I walked away from because they wanted to see my DD-214, and I didn't want them to see the OTH. And most civilians don't even know what the fuck it means. They just wanted the DD-214 so that they could get the government money. You know, that's all they wanted. You know, and I didn't know that. I just didn't want to show my OTH. And I went to a place called a foundation called Focus Marine Foundation. And while I was sitting there in our little freaking powwow, we're in a big room, all of us sitting at tables. One of the speakers said that by the time you're 8 years old, your future's predetermined. And I thought, son of a bitch, my daughter's 8. I screwed up my daughter's life because I treated her like a little devil pup, right? Everything she did was a representation of me. I wanted her to be locked on all the time. Every time she did something wrong, I went over and beyond. And that was the time that I was like, I'm going to change who I am. And it's been a steady work to get to where I'm at now. None of you guys would have been able to talk to me 10 years ago. I was an absolute piece of shit. And now my wife's the chief operations officer of a veteran first responder foundation, and I have a blast doing that. I have my podcast talking about politics and veteran issues and just whatever the fuck I want to talk about. I've got a docu-series that I'm working on with my buddy out of Australia. It's an international documentary that we're hoping to turn into a whole series. Got a production company on board. We're talking to a couple countries, trying to get involved with them. We've got a lot of things going on, and it's absolutely amazing. And I don't know. I don't ever think that where you're at now is where you're going to be later, because all it takes is one step a day to get away from where you're at now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's what you wanted. I'm not real sure, but that's what you got.
No, you're good, man. So like we said at the beginning of the show, it's 250 years of Marine Corps strong. And then right here on this panel, you've got several generations, you know, ranging from the 80s till present pretty much. And it just shows you that we might be small, but we're mighty. And and a lot of people don't take in count that yes, the Marine Corps right now on active duty is a small percentage of people, right? But look how many Marine veterans are out there that are still willing to pick up arms if needed to protect our country. Go ahead, Thomas. Ask your question. Send it, Doc. But yeah, so we're small, but we're there's the veteran community of Marines. There's so many of them. I don't even know. Cletus, you might know the answer to this. With how involved you are with the Marine Corps League and everything. Do we have a roundabout number of how many Marine Corps veterans are here?
Listen, it blew my mind when I got out in 2008. It took me about 3 years before I linked up with the Marine Corps League. You don't have to be in a VSO, okay? The fact that we have Marines all around the state, like I said, blows my mind. I know between the Marine Corps Coordinating Council, the Marine Corps League by itself, that's about 360 some Marines, okay? Now, it's somebody else, hey, that could be huge, it could be small, doesn't matter. We're out there. We're all over the place. And you know what probably sets us off than anybody else? We advertise. There's stickers on our cars, okay? We can be driving down the road, see a sticker, pull up alongside, wave. You pull in front, they see your sticker, they pull back up, gives you a salute or a thumbs up, and that's it. You don't have to know the person. My wife, when we first got married, she said, "Did you know that guy?" I'm like, "No, he's just a Marine." That's it. And so there's a lot out there. And listen, I'm lucky enough that I know if I don't know the answer to something, I'm going to find somebody that knows the answer to something. We are so resourceful. Marines are so resourceful about finding a way to help each other out, okay? And I mean that sincerely, okay? There's a lot out there. Trust me.
Cletus, you're definitely right. Definitely right. I run into that all of the time. All of the time.
So,
I can tell you.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
Well, it's to answer your question.
I was going to say, like,
the VA says that there's 2 million Marine Corps veterans as of 2023. That makes up 11% of the total veteran population.
That's a lot. Now, all right. So Thomas said he had a serious question. His question was, my daughter and I are talking about, was there racism when we served? I said, I never met a black Marine. We were all Marines except me. I was a corpsman. I'm not saying that there wasn't racism within the Marine Corps, because everybody comes from different backgrounds. Me personally, I never saw it. Like I never saw it. Never saw another Marine giving another Marine a hard way to go because of the color of their skin. Because the way I looked at it, and everybody in a line platoon, we had to trust the person to our left and to our right. You know, so we didn't want that division, and I don't think, honestly, I don't think there was in a line platoon. I don't know about, you know, the air wing or comm or motor T and stuff like that, where it wasn't as prevalent, where we need to depend on that person to our left and to our right. So maybe one of these guys can answer that, and then Kelly, I'll answer your question here in just a minute. About the programs for female veterans. There are several great female veteran service organizations out there, and we've happened to have them on the show. So I'll talk about them here in just a minute for you, Kelly.
I mean,
oh, you were? You were Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, heck. All right. So, all right, let's Travis, did you ever see racism in the air wing?
It depends on your definition of racism, believe it or not, because actually one of my best friends met him in the Marine Corps at my last unit, 29. This man was blacker than Wesley Snipes at midnight, and he and I would throw some racial jokes at each other, but at the end of the day, man, we had each other's back, and it was, you know, it was all in good fun. But I never actually met anybody that was truly racist in the traditional sense of the word. The only color we ever saw was green, and we took care of each other. We had each other's backs, and, you know, our dark, twisted sense of humor would come through. But at the end of the day, nothing was ever taken seriously. I never, in my 10 years, I never saw it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same
what about
thing.
you, Anthony?
I had never seen anything like that. And like Travis was saying, you know, you got your friends, your brothers, and you're really crude to each other, but it's out of, you know, good fun, and, you know, nothing was ever like, you know, negative connotations were never put on any of the things that we were saying with each other. You know, it was all out of jokes, and we all knew that we had love for each other at the end of the day. And I always heard that same statement, you know, we're all green here. Like there's no There's no colors of your skin. We're all green.
Different shades of green.
I always heard that too.
Green is a huge melting pot, man.
Yeah. Like,
the only thing that I would say about, and you could take this the other way of the racism, is that, and we all know about it, and we all call them the shitbird or whatever, this, that, and the other. But then, we try and take care of them. But there's people that make you look bad, and that's not their color of skin, but you might hold some kind of racism to them just because of the way they're looking at your unit or whatever. But that would be the only kind of form that I would really know of, and in that category, if you're talking about racism or, kind of biased or whatever you want to say it is, right? Everybody else, you're locked and cocked with everybody, and you have to be.
Yeah.
Well, I figured the older. I figured the older Marines would probably see a little bit of that. So, Cletus?
Oh, yeah. All right. So, probably the first platoon I had as a brand new warrant officer in Okinawa, 7th Column Battalion. So, I had probably 89 Marines on paper, and on any given day, there were 60 some in the shop. Wire, construction, switching, telephone guys. We had a Marine that his grandfather had died. He had that local parentis. We sent this Lance Corporal home, hooked him up with a bunch of days of leave, and he comes back. And what we didn't know is when he went home, he had taken his sergeants, and get this, a Lance Corporal and a sergeant, buddy. His VHS tape, the old kind, they had big camcorders and stuff. So he had went home, took his thing, came back, and then the sergeant that I'm going to tell you about, I get a call. I'm the CDO for Camp Hansen. I get a call that God, I can't drawing a blank on this guy's name. I've got his records. So anyway, so this sergeant gets in trouble for quote raping a Japanese woman, when in reality it was he didn't pay her, and so NCIS got involved, and they checked his room. Well, anyway, the NCIS agent comes back over to me and says, "You need to look at this videotape." So we looked at the videotape of what possibly could happen, but then how I remember you dub over, and you get the squiggly lines, and then you got a new video showing. Well, here's the sergeant counseling the 5 Marines he has. 3 white guys, 2 black guys. The 3 white guys, he's telling them all the positive things they need to do. How to get better, how to get promoted, blah, blah, blah. The 2 black guys, he used the word boy twice and said, y'all ain't going to mount a hill of beans. And yet they were probably the 2 smartest guys in his section. Okay.
Dang.
And so once we saw this, and we set these guys up, and so when it was time to do his fitness report, he came in for the review, and I said, "Your fitness report's on that dartboard over there. Let's see what we're going to do now." And I threw a dart. Oops, that's an above average. Looks like you're going to sign this one twice. And that's how I did his fit rep. And I booted this son of a bitch out of the Marine Corps. And then I found one other sergeant that was doing the same thing. We didn't have any video evidence, but Snitch Boy snitched his ass out, and that's how we got him out too. Guys, I never believed in writing some motherfucker up just because he had some cheesy shit go wrong. It's all about retraining, getting them to understand. I had a great thing where between myself and the gunny I had, if you got in trouble, you had to wrestle one of us or both of us. Okay. If you could beat us, then, everything's good. But nobody beat me. But then again, I didn't want to fucking, run some dude up to flagpole because he, drank and he was under 21. He didn't kill anybody. But, there's a way to teach those lessons. But of the 4 fucking people I did send up, they all went to a court martial. And all 4 went to the fucking brig. Plain and simple.
No, dang.
But racism, there's no place for it. You all said it. I think I heard somebody say it. In my time frame, everybody's green. Might be a dark green, light green. I guess you can't use that anymore. it's been hard to keep up with all the changes, of what you can say and what you can't say.
Everybody's too
So,
friggin' sensitive nowadays.
oh, I know. You know what I say to that? Fuck them. but just like the women Marines, okay, female Marines, women Marines. I mean, I don't even know what to fucking call them. Today, I said she's a girl. And I never counseled women any different than I did men. That was a culture change after about 6 years in the Corps, having females in your unit, because in Amtrak you didn't have any. You never saw them. And don't take this the wrong way. All right, any combat engineers in here? No? Okay.
I was attached to combat engineers.
Okay, so in Amtrak's, we go on those runs down the tank trails at Courthouse Bay, and you get out there and you sing all them fucked up songs, got the bad words and all that shit, talking about fucking pussy and all this stuff. So I get out there, and it just happens that we got some new dude in, a little tall, lanky guy, thought he was the goddamn platoon guide, and he never introduced himself. So we get about halfway down the trail, and they call me out. Well, the first thing I say, the only two things that make me puke is a woman Marine and an engineer boot. And this motherfucker came around from the backside, grabbed me by the damn shirt and said, "You got something fucking wrong with women Marines." He said, "My wife will kick your fucking ass like that." And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And so he ran back to the barracks. And I'm like, all right. So we win the run, came back. We get down to the shop. The gunny says, "I want y'all to meet your new maintenance officer, Warrant Officer Pitchford." And that's the motherfucker.
Oh, hell.
And I was like, please,
hell.
God, send me on another deployment.
Oh, man.
We get along great,
That's
by
the
the way.
stories I love hearing. Yes, sir.
So everybody went around and talked about their service, except for you and I.
Yes,
because
Dave.
everybody on HomeFront Sitrep knows us.
Do they?
They know our service.
No, they
Do they?
don't.
Well, they should.
Cletus doesn't.
Well,
I don't.
Well, Cletus
Well,
doesn't know yours, yeah.
Tim,
I know David from the Veterans Club and Jason's Tattoo Parlor.
Yeah, Travis doesn't. Anthony doesn't.
I think you should
right.
let us all hear about it.
All right, go ahead and you go first.
Oh, the gunny has to go first, huh? So
yeah,
I'm from
gotta-
Maine
gotta
originally.
respect the rank, bro.
Served from 97 to 2011. For the first, I can't even say 6 years, 9 years, I was infantry. 3 of it I spent as a recruiter in the Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area. Spent the 9 years-ish, so 6 years proper in the infantry, 0311. And then after recruit duty, back to the infantry, got promoted to staff sergeant, obviously 0369, and then was told could not perform the duties of an infantryman anymore because of injuries sustained in combat during in Iraq in 2005. And then was forced lat moved and went over to work on the V-22 for 5 years. And then after 30-ish surgeries, no longer able to perform the basic functions of a Marine and was medically retired. So I've been out almost as long as I was in. And now I work with a professional skydive team that travels the world and doing performances all over.
Outstanding, Gunny.
Awesome. All right, so I'll tell my story. So joined the Marine Corps 1997. Met Gunny on the yellow footprints at Parris Island. We were in the same platoon at boot camp. We went to School of Infantry together. Then we went to 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines together. We served our first 3 years together. 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines Golf Company. After when I was getting short time, I wanted to go on a med float. Well, 2-8 was not going to do a med float. They were going back to CAX. If I remember correctly, they were going to CAX.
Yeah, we did CAX, and then we weren't doing the med until that 01 med float.
You replaced us. So I did a lat move from 2-8 to 18 Bravo company to go on a med float. That was one thing that I wanted to do, was go on a med float. And then I had to extend for 2 months. So when I got out, the first time was in 2001. It was August 2001. 9/11 happened. I was on terminal. Well, I just came off terminal leave. I had 30 days. So September 1st, my terminal leave was up, DD 214 in hand. September 11 happened. Called my mom. I was like, hey, be looking out for that Western Union, because I'm going to get recalled. Sure enough, Western Union said, please report back to Camp Lejeune for combat refresher training. So went back to Camp Lejeune for combat refresher training. They put us as a mobilization support battalion. So all the reserve units and stuff that were coming in, we were the ones doing the armory. We were supply. They had us all, all different MOSs doing these other jobs that, I was in the armory. Never did the armory ever in my life, but yet here we are running the armory. And then they're like, well, we're going to send you guys over. You're going to set up fobs and stuff like that. And I tried to re-enlist to serve out my contract, what time I had left, but they would not allow me to do that. Don't know why, but so yeah, and after getting out in 2004, my plan was to go into the Army. I was going to finish my 20 in the Army. That was my plan. But unfortunately, the man upstairs had another plan for me. I was not able to go into the Army. Met my current wife. We'll be married 20 years, November the 18th. So just right around the corner, 8 days from now. Been together for 23 years. I got 2 beautiful daughters. One's a freshman in college at EKU. The other one just had she's a senior in high school. She just had her college visit at Lindsey Wilson University. She will be attending Lindsey Wilson next year. So super excited for her and their journey. One wants to be an FBI agent. The other wants to be a high school history teacher. So I'm super, super excited about their journey. And then I volunteered with a lot of nonprofits over the course of 20 years of getting out, and some good ones, some bad ones. Met some great people like Travis Cletus, doing these nonprofits. And are we losing people? Who just dropped? Mike dropped.
Mike.
Okay. So met some great people along. Yeah, met some great people along the way. Gunny, can you bring him back up?
Yeah.
Met some great people along the way. In 2020, I resigned from my last board that I was on. Travis mentioned that organization earlier. Me and the founder had some philosophical differences, and I resigned. In a rabbit hole, like I think he's went down a rabbit hole. Didn't know what I was going to do. So I was like, I'm gonna do a podcast. And then I started researching, the podcast of, different veteran podcasters out there. And I was like, man, nobody's focused on the mom and pop grassroots nonprofits that still care about us as veterans. Everybody focuses on the big, the big name organizations out there, or they bring in, your Dakota Myers, your Kyle Carpenters, your Jockos, and that's what they focused on. They didn't focus on the run-of-the-mill veteran that has a story to tell, but it's not a high-profile story. So we started out with the we focus. So our primary focus is the veteran nonprofits, the mom and pops, and then we bring in veteran business owners, veteran singers, veteran authors, veteran comedians to tell their story. Like Theory. I met Theory at a concert that we were doing, 3 years ago? Was it 3 years ago, Theory? 3 years ago, we did a concert, and Theory was headlining the concert there, and that's where I met him. And we clicked right away, just for the simple fact we're both Marines, and I've had him on the show a few times, and he's co-hosted a few times as well. And then, of course, after Gunny and I, we went our separate ways. We lost track of each other for 20 years. Gunny, was it almost 20 years?
Yeah.
And the power of Facebook reconnected us. And lo and behold, he lives 2 hours away from me. So, you know, it was kind of like we picked up right where we left off. We were in boot camp, you know, when you're getting smoked, you had a battle buddy, right? Well, Gunny was my battle buddy and I was his battle buddy. So we
got strong.
Yeah, so we kind of
got strong.
Probably
we
all
got
David's
strong.
fault too,
So
huh?
Do what?
So it was probably
Yeah,
all David's
yeah.
fault too, huh?
Most of the time
Yeah,
it
it's all
was
my fault.
the short end.
But yeah, so that's my story in a nutshell, man. And it'll be 3 years this February for the HomeFront Sitrep team, and I'm excited to bring on. You know, we of course we started the Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable with all the different veteran podcasters out there, and it keeps growing. We started with 5, and I think we're up to 14 or 15 different veteran podcasters that are on that. Then we bring in special guests, like we had this coming up on the 19th. We have Lieutenant General Brian Kelly, U.S. Air Force, retired. Lieutenant General, did I say General? He's coming on. We've had Don Bramer, who is the founder of American Freedom Fund. He's also a Kentucky native, and he's also founder of Bramer Group, which is a lobbyist group for veterans up in D.C. So he's been on a few times, and it's you know, doing this podcast, for one, it's my therapy. It helps me with the things that I got going on in my head because I get to hear everybody's story, and we all signed our name on that dotted line, but we all did our service differently. So, you know, Gunny and I, we walked the same path for 3 years, but that first 3 years, there's a lot of things that he remembers that I don't remember because we did it differently. So that's why we do what we do at HomeFront Sitrep. And as long as we reach one veteran a day, then we've completed our mission. And you know, we can look at and say, well, what about all the thousands that's listened to it later, or you know, whatever. Not as long as I know I reach one veteran a day, then I know I completed my mission for that day. So it makes me sleep.
It's crazy how we can be in the same company for 3 years, right? And you know, you're in first platoon, I'm in second platoon, and we're doing our own little thing, and we have different missions throughout that first 3 years. And even though we're in Greece or we're in Okinawa, we're in Korea, we're at CAX, we're at Bridgeport, you know, the things, the way that we did things platoon wise are a little bit different. In some of the missions, you might have been, you know, to Camp Kinzer and we're at Schwab or at Northern Training Area or whatever. It's just crazy how different, you know, things can be for, you know, a group of people that served with each other for 3+ years.
Yeah.
Well, you could also say that how much.
So
I think he froze up.
No, I was just saying. I didn't.
Yeah, I think he froze up.
Oh, I was
Go ahead,
able,
Mike.
You talking about Mike? I was able to hear him and see him.
Yeah, I was just saying is that, you know, how much the Marine Corps has changed, Cletus, and maybe I don't know if anybody. I remember in boot camp, right?
Yeah.
The drill got practical app, right? And I don't know if they still do it or did it or when you guys were in, but you know, I got one of the answers wrong in practical app, so that the drill instructor, he calls me up, Staff Sergeant Ochoa, and goes, probably has to come up to my podium, you know, and the podium's those 3 lockers, right? And he goes, what was that answer? And it was something about I can't remember what it was, but he's like, go ahead and look at my podium and you'll find the answer. Aye, sir. I opened it up and looked inside. He said, do you see it in there? And I looked down and I said, no, sir. And he slammed the back of the foot locker on the back of my head. And he said, is it in there now? I said, yeah, aye, sir. Yes, sir. Went back and sat down, right? I don't even know if they still do that or anything like that, but how much the Marine Corps has changed, you know, since then. And, you know, I love those instances, right? And
Are you
even though
talking about, like, do they still, like, like
get hands on,
abuse you.
Pages.
Yeah, I definitely got hands put on me.
I can
Yeah,
say
That's what I
that,
want.
that's a common factor. Is the
we
hand.
had something called the what the hell? Oh, the Aquadome. I don't know if you guys had ever heard of that. So if you had beef with another recruit during boot camp, you could tell the drill instructor, and they would give you 120 seconds. They'd bring you and that other recruit that you had a problem with into the showers, run all 6 shower heads, and they'd let you bare knuckle box it out for 2 minutes. And at the end of the 120 seconds, separate, and it's all squashed. But that was like for recruits versus
no DI's putting hands on.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
that definitely still happens.
Listen,
Too.
That just
I-
leads
I
to
do.
good
David's
training.
got a
right
good
there.
story.
I've got a good one.
I had
Whenever-
the luxury of
go ahead.
having 4 staff sergeants in my boot camp platoon. The crazy part was my platoon that showed up at, you go, you remember how you go through receiving first, get all your shit. So here we are 3 days into this, and I'm thinking, God, what have I signed up for? Because I mean, it's just living hell. So day 4, motherfucker wakes up and says, all right, grab all your shit. You're going to go meet your drill instructors. And I'm like, well, who the fuck are you? You know? And I'm like, and he says, training day 1 starts today. And I'm like, what the fuck? I got to do 94 days instead of 90? Oh my God. So we get over there. So the series commander survived the Beirut bombing. The senior drill instructor had been hit by a drunk driver. He had one eye going fucking straight, the other eye cocked off to the left. And he told everybody, don't fucking stare at me. And I'm thinking, well, which way do we fucking look? Okay. Because I hated it every time he come in front of me. Because he's like, get your eyeballs off me. And I'm like, so I just closed my eyes. And then we had a Fred Flintstone looking motherfucker that had no neck. He was the junior. The heavy was, let me tell you something. My heavy was a guy named Yashanka. And about 2 weeks into it, the Catholic lay reader, and I was the Protestant lay reader, says the prayer at night. We started praying every night, asking God to fucking kill this motherfucker the next day on the confidence course, the O course. We asked that he break his neck on the fucking A-frame. He caught us one night. No shit, caught us. He says, all right, you 2 little motherfuckers, you're going to, every time I run a confidence course, you're going to run it with me. And we did it 8 fucking times that day.
Oh
It
my God.
sucked ass. But that didn't stop us. I prayed for more fucking painful death on this son of a bitch. So then there was a short guy. There's nothing against anybody short, but he had something to prove. Like he was 5'5", okay? So if you fucked up when he was on duty, he'd make you pull that footlocker out. He'd stand on it and take that brim and boink the fucking hell out of you, okay? Right in the damn forehead.
Yeah.
I think the other, remember the 4 and 40? You know how you go to port arms? Well, if you're not 4 fucking inches, okay, that heavy would come by and say, 4 inches, hit the top of the rifle, it hits your head, and he'll tell you, I didn't hit you, I only hit your rifle.
That happened to me. That happened to me practicing for
God.
final drill.
Yeah, you learn quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Actually,
going to
an
keep
incident.
telling.
Fellas,
I'll tell
fellas,
you
I
more
have,
stories later, man. Trust me, I got
fellas, I have to go. I have to go to to the AMVET. Semper Fi, brothers, and happy
rock.
birthday.
Semper
Happy
Fi,
birthday,
Mike. Have a good one. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear Travis's story.
I actually had this one coming. This is where we say pride was turned around and bit me in the ass. We just got done at the rifle range. We were back at our main barracks, cleaning rifles. Had a 55-gallon drum of soapy water and clean water in the head there in the showers. And at some point, unbeknownst to me, while cleaning my bolt, my firing pin fell out and wound up in the bottom of that barrel.
Oh no!
And I go back. I'm sitting on my Foot Locker. I'm scrubbing. I'm cleaning. I'm getting everything cleaned up. And one of the recruit, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. He goes, "Hey, are you missing a firing pin?" I'm like, "No, dumbass. I got all my stuff. What are you talking about?" And then not 5 minutes later, I hear our kill hat, Staff Sergeant Moose Johnson. I'll never forget. He was 5'4" at best. Here, freeze. And everybody jumps up. You know, which one of you dumb motherfuckers is missing a firing pin? And everybody holds theirs out. And I'm like, oh, shit. It was mine. And he comes. I step forward, you know, sir, this recruit's lost his firing pin. He gets in front of me. He was notorious for, like Cletus said, the bang. But he wouldn't bang. He would take that brim. He put it right on your nose. And he would just drive it in there. He wouldn't hit you. Because that would be, you know, it'd be hitting you, but he would put it right there on the brim of your nose and drive it in there. So I closed my eyes waiting for it. This son of a bitch, Spartan, kicks me in the chest and sends me over my Foot Locker into the rack. And I mean, this is 2005. They're not supposed to do that. And I spent the next 3 hours island hopping across Paris Island in the sand pit, paying for that one. Because I was like, no, I've got all my stuff. I've been field stripping M16s, AR-15s since I was 8 years old. Like I know I've got all my stuff, and you know, if I'd have just taken 2 seconds, be like, oh no, I don't. Thank you. It would have saved me a lot of pain.
He tried to help you out.
He did. Yeah. He did, and my ego got the better of me.
My kill hat was a staff sergeant, and I had my senior and the other 2 drill instructors were gunnies, and the staff sergeant got promoted mid-cycle to gunny. Like the first 3 weeks into our cycle, he got promoted to gunny. And I remember one time he was asking, you know, we were running to the head for like something. I think it was like end of night, you know, whatever, get ready, you know, brush your teeth, do all that dumb shit. And we're all running to the head. And I remember I coming back out, I had to shit real bad. And I was like, oh no, we're supposed to get online. And I went to my kill hat. He was on duty that night. And I was like, this recruit requests permission to speak to drill instructor, staff sergeant. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like immediately hit a oh shit moment because he just that day got promoted to gunny. And I was immediately like, you could probably see all the color in my face just probably disappear. And I was like, I had seen a ghost, and he just looked at me, and he was a short, real thick Hispanic accent dude. And he took no shit from anybody. And so he looks at me with like the calmest face, which is more scary because he's usually freaking out on everybody. And this dude looked at me calmly and goes, what did you just call me? And I was like, this recruit messed up, sir. Get the fuck out of my face. I go, the night goes on. We go to bed. I'm in my rack, and it's got to be like 2:30 or 3 in the morning. And all I hear is, like, I feel myself being shook out of my sleep. And I hear, Dorval. And I'm like swinging because it scared the shit out of me. And I knocked the brim of his hat down. And he's like, oh, good.
Oh, shit.
So now you want to call me a staff sergeant and you want to hit me? He grabbed my fucking sheets and he pulled my sheets to where I fell out of I was on the top rack. I fell out of my rack and I hit the deck, and he put me on the quarter deck for like 45 minutes and fucked me up. And I had to whisper all of
quietly.
Yeah. I had to whisper everything. So he's like, no, you're being too loud. You're being too loud. You're being too loud.
Hi, sir. Hey, I know it's not funny, then. But it's fucking
It's funny
now.
Oh yeah, I look
Boot
back.
camp is the funniest place
Kinda
you
like-
can't laugh, man.
Kind of like what Cletus was saying, like the whole time, like I was that one recruit that was like, I hope this motherfucker breaks his leg trying to climb the rope at the end of the O course, dude. Like, fuck this guy. Like, but no, he was really cool though, man. Yeah, after we did the Crucible, we did our hike back to the parade deck, and I got my EGA. He actually gave me my EGA. And I thought that was pretty cool because he had it out for me from day one in boot camp. And just when we meet our drill instructors on Black Friday, I apparently moved too slow. So he like beeline to me and like just made my life completely miserable. And I was in boot camp for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And it was the first time being away from my family. So like I hated life for three months. It was the worst. But when he gave me my EGA, I felt incredible. And I was like, I got this guy's respect. And during the Warriors breakfast, I remember I'm sitting down and I'm scarfing up all this French toast and fucking pancakes and bacon and stuff. Loving it, getting ice cream, just shoveling that in my mouth.
Getting the first real meal.
Yeah, the first real thing to eat.
Yeah.
And I think they had steak too. I'm pretty sure they had steak. And so it was just this great entourage of like awesome foods that you only dreamed about for 13 weeks. And
I remember it all tasting the same, not like shit.
Yeah.
It's all bland. It's all bland.
1,000 times better than what I thought it was going to be, but still not the same, right? But he comes and sits at our table, and I shot up, and I was like, because you're supposed to stand up and give the proper greeting of the day when you get a drill instructor pass you or something when you're in the chow hall. And I stood up and I was going to give the proper greeting of the day. He's like, sit the fuck down. and he talked to me like a normal human being for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm really glad that you didn't break your neck on the rope climb for the O course, man. Like, I really wanted you to, bro. Like, I hate you.
So, at that week after the Crucible leading up to graduation, they started calling you by your rank and your last name. And you could do the same without saying drill instructor in front of it. That's all changed now. They're not allowed to do that now until, towards graduation. Like closer, like maybe the day, because you're not.
They still have to.
Because you're not a Marine yet. You're still a recruit. So they had changed that. They changed it back.
That's dumb.
Oh wow.
I had my eye clocked in from the drill instructor's cover, and he was like, "Oh, you fell, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I did," but I was a drop, so I got injured. So I had an extended, very pleasant stay on the island, and
you did more than 90 days, huh?
Yeah, I stopped counting at 190.
Ooh,
yeah, it was fun.
You poor bastard.
Yes, oh, dude. But
you graduated with 1 year time in service, right?
Yeah, I did actually, and like the drill instructors were taking my blues, but I hid a lot of stuff from my drill instructors. When I went to boot camp, I was a little bit older. I was like 20 something, and by the time I went to boot camp, I already had kids, but no one knew. They thought I was just some old man of the Corps, And I got dropped, and I got in trouble for not telling them that I had kids.
That's right. Fraudulent enlistment.
Yep. I was like, I'm not telling you nothing.
Sorry, I was guilty of it.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
All of us lied about something.
Oh,
yeah, I had 5 tickets. I only told them about 4 of them.
Jeez.
I never smoked weed.
Count.
I never smoked weed as a civilian. I never broke my wrist. I never fractured my tailbone. Like none of that ever happened.
I left my girlfriend, who's my wife now, but she was pregnant with my 3rd child. So they had no idea.
Son.
I got the sonogram picture of him being my son. And they lost their minds. And then my
Wait, you got that in a letter?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yo, I had a stack like this of pictures of my kids and my wife, and she was smart. She would hide them all like in the bags and stuff because I was an artist recruit. So I got like pencils in the mail and stuff. But my senior, when I was a drop, at the end, he was my kill hat as a drop, and he would jump in my rack and like blast me, and I couldn't even move. I was paralyzed from the waist down. And he's like, "Go stand up," and I'm like, I can't do anything. And he said, when I go back into training, he's gonna get all the time I wasted. And I'll never forget, man. Staff Sergeant Decker, green hat for life, green belt for life, he used to say. And I got dropped into training, and he came, and I heard him coming, and I started just shaking because he made me stand on a foot locker, and he destroyed everyone else except for me. And as he was leaving, he was like, "Now they're gonna fucking hate you." And I was just like, I don't even care. I've been here so long. The drill instructors tell me to kill. That's what I'm doing. And that night, the senior was like, "You better put the whole platoon in their spot." So I went out and I stole our guidon, I stole the pike, I stole everything. And I was like, "Here you go." I like presented it to my drill instructors and was like, "These are your recruits." And they let me, because I had the old school BCGs. I was like, I can't hide. I stand out like a sore thumb.
Willis had those too.
Yeah, yeah.
Looked like tiger stripe, brown, friggin'.
Yup. Yeah. Yes. I still have them because when I go firing, there's still great glasses. I mean, my
do you
wife
still have the earplug as the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we didn't do earplugs. We did tape when we went in. We had friggin' that the medical tape, the white medical tape that they'd have to wrap around the bridge of it.
Oh yeah. But it's still like, I guess I'm the newest one out, I guess. And man, I was the last platoon to learn iron sights.
Wow.
And it changed when I was in MRP, when I was a drop. They're like, "Here, put this on." I was like, "I do iron sights, but I don't know what this is."
Right.
Yeah,
but
you said you went in 2011, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
went in 2010 and did iron sights for boot camp and for my first year on the rifle range for qual. And after that, it was ACOGs.
Yeah.
It was, I guess they were running iron sights a lot longer than I thought, because I only went in 05, and I thought we were one. I thought we were one of the last companies and platoons to.
No, it's fiscal year 11.
Yeah, fiscal year 11. Very well.
It was intense.
And hey, for all of you guys that did,
I did my first deployment to Iraq with iron sights.
I applaud you.
2010, or sorry, 8.
Yeah, Cletus. There were some of the older guys that I served with. You guys are Crucible Marines. You guys are Crucible Marines.
Oh no!
And I'm like, and then I look back at it. I'm like, you mother lovers didn't have to put up with 54 hours of BS.
That's right.
Wait,
2 meals.
Wait, what? What did I miss here? That they stopped doing the Crucible?
No. So pre 1996, they didn't do a Crucible. I came in 97. You might have missed that part.
I didn't miss it. Yeah, I got it.
General Krulak's the creator of this Crucible idea. He was a Marines commandant, little short guy. So in 97, while I was at Warrant Officer School, we had the pleasure of coming down to Parris Island for 2 whole days and watching the Crucible finish up those last 54 hours. And let me tell you something. I mean, I'd go back just to go back and do that again, because so moving as hell, the ceremony. We did all the obstacles. So we paired up in I think 6-person teams. So you had 6 warrant officers. And let me tell you something. That's some challenging ass shit right there.
Yeah.
To try to solve something in 15 minutes or 20 minutes you had, maybe?
And your dog ass tired because you only get like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, because we did the same thing. We didn't just get a ride out there. We had to huff it all the way, out to where you were at. And it was neat to see everything. And of course, you got your flashbacks from being there if you were at Parris Island and stuff. And it was really a great experience. And I applaud all you guys that went through the Crucible to earn that EG&A. I mean, it's a great moment, I'll tell you, I might have been one of probably my entire platoon, because when we graduate, we want to get the fuck off that island. And my mom and whoever she brought down with her said, "Look, You had last night to fucking socialize and see the island. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I told my mom, don't even come.
Yeah.
Don't even come.
But yeah,
we graduated. I got on a bus and I flew my ass home to Maine.
Oh,
Am I the only West Coast Marine?
No, I'm a Hollywood Marine.
Okay, yeah, me too. Okay.
No, they're over here talking about getting off the island in the Crucible. You know, think about it.
Yeah.
Y'all were tired walking around the fucking flight deck 15 times. We had to climb hills.
I think
for their
being in
Crucible.
San Diego,
I would
might
love
have
to
been
climb those hills,
more
man.
I climbed it. It
demoralizing
wasn't that bad.
because you see
Not
that
now. I
plane-
can barely walk, but
Mount Motherfucker is different than the freaking Reaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cletus never went to Camp
All right, so
Pendleton.
Cletus has got something to say. He's trying to talk to you.
I was just chiming in that I never went to Camp Pendleton other than visit a couple times. I feel sorry for you guys that climbed all them damn big ass hills out there. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I will say this because our recruiting school for the Marine Corps is at San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only place that there's recruiting school. Overall, as far as recruit training, Paris Island has it far worse. And here is why.
Okay.
You're not under the watchful eye of San Diego County.
That makes sense.
You don't have all those cameras pointed at you when you're back at San Diego proper. Now, for the rifle range, your crucible, your field training, all you San Diego guys can keep that shit in San Diego. I'd rather do it at PI because it is semi-flat. You're right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You go up north for it. So you guys can keep it.
It's the worst because you're on 54 hours and maybe when I was doing the Crucible, we got maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of sleep for the two nights that we slept. And the rest of the time you're doing stuff or you're on fire watch or whatever the case may be. And not only that, but it was fucking, the end of January, beginning of February when I'm in California, and California is nice weather and all, but it gets cold as fuck in those mountains.
So I did recruiter school January, February in San Diego.
Terrible.
Yeah, and now it's terrible. And then if it rains or you have other weather that comes in, it's a pain, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know doing the Crucible after all that, and you're hungry. You've only had 2 MREs to last you all 3 days, and you're running on such little sleep, and you're exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally. The whole time you're doing all these obstacles, you're getting slayed by the DIs because they're like, "Oh, you're almost at Marine Week, bitch. I'm gonna fuck your life up."
And they can't. They truly can't do it outside at San Diego. They have to do it inside the barracks.
Yeah,
right? Because again, San Diego County or the city of San Diego wants that property. The marina's there. The airport wants to expand. They can't go anywhere else other than coming towards MCRD San Diego. So there's always cameras and people watching just to see if any Marines are screwing up.
Yeah,
to find a reason to gain that property.
Yeah, and you're right by the airport too.
You said 2 MREs. Did they give you 3 MREs? Like they gave us 3. They gave us 3, and then they took them away.
2.
Nope, they gave us 2.
We had 2, and they told
us 2. We had to give up all the sugar, all the salt, all the pepper. We had to give up the candy. We had to give up the coffee. The only thing we could keep was the crackers and the main meal. That was it. That we couldn't have the cheese. We couldn't have the peanut butter. And then we got the vitamin supplements that they'd put in the water. To fill our canteens. That was it.
They gave us 3, and then the first day we were eating chow and we didn't do it fast enough. So then we had to throw the other 2 in the dumpster and the half that they had the half that was left over. So the last day we didn't have any food.
They told us chow was continuous during the Crucible. So you
could continuous.
You could eat whenever you wanted. We got to keep like the peanut butter and stuff, but we didn't get to keep they had those little milkshake packets. We had to give those up.
There was no milkshake packets when David and I went through.
We had to give up the candy. It was basically the crackers, the peanut butter for protein or cheese, and then your main meal, and that was it. But they gave it to you and they said, chow is continuous, take these 2 MREs, and you basically, if you want to cave one day and eat both your main meals in one day because you're just fucking hungry and you feel like you need the energy, then the rest of the Crucible is going to suck for you. So they made us learn the hard way to ration it out. And then after doing all that and the Crucible is over, you're walking up to the Reaper, and it's like, I remember because it was dark out. We started the hike at like 3 a.m, and we ended up seeing, you know how it has a vehicle in front of the hike and then a vehicle in the back to carry all the people that fall out. Well, the vehicle in the front, I remember seeing the headlights, and it went like this to this.
Yes.
And it's climbing up this fucking mountain. And I'm like, I have to walk up that shit.
Yep.
They were like, yup. And so we did it. And without my buddy Jeff Dwayne, thank God for this Marine, because we literally were pulling each other up. Like there was a point where I could reach and bend down just a little bit and touch the ground that I was walking on because it was so fucking steep. And I would fall, my knees would scrape, I'd start to slide down, he'd pick me up, drag me up there. And then when you get to the top of the Reaper, there's like a little, like a flat, like plateau area. And then there's a mini mountain. I think that's what they called Mount Motherfucker.
Nope. Mount Motherfucker's an SLI.
Okay, so that's different. So then, but there was this little mini mountain, and the drill, after you climbed the Reaper, the first part of it, the drill instructor got everybody, you know, to listen, and he was like, okay, up that hill at the top, you guys have canteens with Kool-Aid and apples to give you some sugar and to give you some energy for this 10-mile hump that we have back to the parade deck.
So did you did MCT at Camp Pendleton, right?
At Pendleton, yeah.
Yeah, so you did Mount Motherfucker, because MCT, they take you up Mount Motherfucker.
Yeah,
So,
I probably did. I just don't. I honestly don't remember what they called it and like what it was.
we didn't get to do Mount Motherfucker for MCT because it was raining and it was too muddy. So they went another hill that was smaller than Mount Motherfucker, and it was still pretty well straight the fuck up. And we had 1.5 inches, 2 inches of mud on the bottom of our boots.
Yep. And not only that, but like even walking down, like you got to walk down those hills too.
Yep.
And like they call it the ankle breaker.
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember that one. And like you got gravel and rocks and like all this stuff that you're trying not to literally break your ankle and fall down. And like I remember when we reached that plateau area, the drill instructor got everybody there, and he was just like, look, at the top of that hill, you got apples and Kool-Aid to give you guys energy for this 10-mile hump that we got back to the parade deck. I want to see every single fucking recruit running and war crying up that hill to make it. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care how loud you got to be. I don't care if you got to help each other, but you're all going to make it there. You're going to war cry until you reach the top. And we did it. And I remember on the 10-mile hike back, after we all ate our apples and drank our canteen cups full of Kool-Aid, there was a chaplain, a Navy chaplain, and he was in the back, and he was singing like such a soulful kind of just tune with his voice. And it was the most beautiful thing that I had heard in my life at that point. And I started bawling my eyes out when I heard this dude's voice, because it became very real to me at that point. Like I'm on the way to the parade deck to get my Eagle Globe and Anchor that I've been working so hard for the last 12 weeks to get. And hearing that dude's voice was so relaxing. And I was like, this is the first time I've felt at peace in 12 weeks. And I feel so good. And I just start uncontrollably sobbing. And when I got my EGA, man, I like gripped that thing so tight when my kill hat gave it to me. And I started bleeding on my hand, like out of my hand, because I gripped it so tight. And I was so attached to it. I didn't want to let that shit go for anybody. But I gave it to my mom when I graduated.
Yeah, brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we could keep going and going and going. Unfortunately, my wife is about to start texting saying, "Hey, you've been down here too long." So we're gonna have to wrap.
Mine's already doing that.
Yeah. So
that's why I ran away. My kids were.
So Cletus, you didn't get to see this earlier, Cletus. So I'm gonna play it again just because I
Celebrating
can.
the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps, baby. You would not understand. Okay. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
That is outstanding.
You're welcome.
I think we need to do that every year.
Yeah, I had to play it
We need to
again.
follow the lead. You know, it's kind of like the challenge.
Well, I set the tone, so I want to see Gunny Deeds in his boxers with shirtless in the snow with the
Okay, I'm
Marine
doing
flag
Speedos.
next year.
I'll get you. I'll do it in the snow if it snows with American flag silkies on. How's that?
It's gotta be
Bet.
silky.
That's outstanding.
Bet.
There you
But
go.
you got to stand up. You got to stand on something high enough, and you got to
My
belt
deck's like
out the
20
Marine Corps
feet,
anthem.
man.
Get on your roof.
I'll one up that. I'll do it with my original Marine Corps silkies and American flag Crocs.
I still got my originals.
I don't have any of that. I lost all that stuff in the hurricane. It's
Hey
in a
guys,
body bag.
I know that hurricane you're talking about.
remember
We were
the,
sandbagging my neighbor's house.
You remember the brown shorts?
The
tight
UDTs.
I
The
got those.
UDTs. Oh, nobody wants to see your nuts hanging out of that.
I'll put them on. Oh no! I showed my wife one time. She says, "Dear God." Yeah.
So when David and I went to Okinawa, we all had to go buy 2 sets of those, and that's what we had to wear to PT in when we were in Oki for 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want.
God.
Hey, you know they're panty droppers.
There's something.
Well, apparently
something.
they're nut droppers too.
Oh yeah.
That's true statement
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah, you
So
can't
we're
sit
the-
down with your
we're the
legs
real-
spread, that's for sure.
So were the
why-
silkies.
why
If
I'd
you wear the
wear it.
silkies right, your nuts are hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Willis.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hey, you and Gunny need to. We need to convene this group together about once every 3 months at a minimum. And
Sure, we can do that.
this was very. I don't know. It's just very therapeutic.
Cathartic.
To talk.
Absolutely.
About shit, and I love hearing your all stories about your times going through basic training, the what ifs and the crazy host shits. They were great. Hey, I thought going from November to February would be a great time because I thought the fucking sand fleas would be dead. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. They were there.
There's no
I
break.
had never been away from home.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have sand fleas. We went June, July, August. We had 0 sand fleas.
Really? I started in November. I don't even know when I got out.
Hold up. Gunny,
It's
you
been
saying
too
you didn't
long.
have sand fleas?
Not in June, July, and August. It was too damn
Where
hot.
were you? Were you over at 4th
Paris
Recruit
County.
Training Battalion?
No, first.
Ah.
Well,
I'm
that's
messing
all right.
with
We
you.
didn't have them either over there in California.
Was there July, August, September, and October? We had sand fleas, and I got a little incident that I think will put the East Coast versus West Coast debate to an end. But I'll save that story for another time.
All right.
I don't know
we'll do
what
that.
happens
Willis.
on the East Coast, but nothing will compare to
Hey,
them
you're
hills,
welcome.
man.
All right,
Thank you,
so we
Gunny.
will reconvene this. We will reconvene this in what say January time frame. We'll do another show with everybody on the panel, minus maybe 1 or 2 people.
You're right. I may not be here. I may be in another country.
Hey,
Well,
you let me know.
You
I'll
can
be
still
here.
join us. You can still join us, Matt. Hey,
That's
so
the
we did
beauty
have a
of the
question,
internet.
Matt. We did have a question for you, Matt.
Yes.
I think you were doing something else, but
No,
you got
my
an OTH,
camera's
right?
messed up.
No,
I
you're
did,
good.
yes,
You
I
got
got
an
an
OTH, right? Have you ever tried to upgrade
I've done it
paper, your
twice.
discharge?
I've done it twice, and
findings.
right now I'm doing it with Sergeant Major Schickel. So on TikTok, if you guys are on TikTok and you'll know anybody, Sergeant Major USMC 1980. He has started a company called Vet to Vet, and his idea is wrapping his arms around. And he's actually helped 1 Marine and 1 airman with BCDs to actually get up to an honorable under what is it? It's honorable under general under honorable. That's what it is.
Yep.
It not an honorable, but general under honorable.
Yeah.
And that's with a BCD.
Okay.
Dang. Yeah,
So-
so you should be able to get yours upgraded. Sure. You should
Yeah,
be able
yeah.
to.
Yeah, we're working on it. We've
So-
got I'm waiting on 1 more character witness letter to come in. We're going to scan it in, send it to him, and then we're mailing all of that over to him. Whenever he's done with what his letter is and what his stuff is, he's sending it to me, and then we're mailing it to Quantico, to the Naval
Nice.
Review Board.
Good. All right.
Heck yeah.
Thanks, Willis.
Heck yeah. Hey, you're welcome. Anytime. All right, guys. I want to say thank you for coming on and hanging out with Gunny and I for this almost 2 hours. Great talk. And that's what I wanted. Just Marines talking about Marine shit. That's what I wanted us to do tonight. And you know, for people out there, whether they're on TikTok, whether they're watching here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever they're watching it, for them to be able to get to know you guys as well. So thank you guys for coming on. Anthony, I know this is our first time doing, you know, talking outside of Facebook and everything, but man, it's so cool that you guys got to come hang out with us on our birthday
thanks
today.
for the invite. It was
years.
nice. It was nice
You're
talking
welcome.
to other Marines.
I'm just like, I'm
Hell
looking forward to the next one, man.
Oh yeah,
awesome. And Travis, you're more than welcome to come on anytime, brother. Anytime you're in Mount Washington, let me know.
I need
but
to
yeah,
get
you
up there and
guys.
get some tattoo therapy done.
Hey, I did get mine finished.
Y'all come to New
uh,
Jersey. I'll tattoo every single one of you, man.
I got my.
Where are you at in Jersey?
started and I need to get it finished. So.
I am in
yeah,
Ocean
okay.
County. I'm on the shore.
Dude, we do Ocean City Air Show every year.
Jason's hard to get a hold
Let me
of these
know.
days.
I think it's September, I think, is when we come in.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'll you come here and I'll tattoo you guys.
Willis, before you run, the 16th,
yeah.
right? Episode, you and I.
Yeah, your episode on HomeFront Sitrep will be the 16th. Yes. So on next Sunday, we will have Matt with the Life Liberty podcast. He will be on the show on the 16th, and you'll be able to hear his story in full detail. Hopefully he's got his cameras fixed by then.
We'll get it fixed by
hopefully.
then.
So yeah, so check us out next Sunday, and then on Monday the 17th, Cletus and I will be at the Marine Corps League meeting. Theory, I'm trying to get Theory to join us. Cletus, I got another Marine that's going to be coming. Bill Rawson's going to be coming as well. So hopefully we'll have 2 new Marines join the Marine Corps League on the 17th. What do I need to get some kind of paperwork for those guys, Cletus?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you send it to me?
Well, no, just the DD-214 is what they need, and then we can always fill the application out there at the Marine House. Okay.
Can it be a
Sounds good.
digital copy of the DD-214?
Yes.
No, they need Oh, it can be.
Well, I mean,
thought it had to be a physical copy.
Send it digitally. We'll print it out.
Okay. Cool.
Go ahead and black out your social security number. Okay.
All right. Yep. Will do.
All right.
Cool deal. Hey, listen.
Cool beans, guys.
For the guy in Jersey, if I ever decide to get a tattoo, I'll come get it from you.
Yeah, I'd love to tattoo you guys.
Cletus,
Come
you
out
still
here.
got virgin skin?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Cletus still has
tattoo
virgin
virgins are
skin.
so fun, man. And I never thought I'd be tattooing, so it's fun.
There you go.
Hey man,
all right, guys.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Hey.
He will help you find your bliss, man.
I tell you, you be tattooed by a minister, and if you come by me, so
Well,
There you go.
my wife and I are supposed to go to Maine next year. Maybe we'll swing through Jersey.
hey, we could find a halfway point if you want.
Sounds good to me, brother.
Be awesome.
Hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna drop y'all out, and Gunny and I are gonna wrap the show.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank
Happy
you, guys.
birthday.
Everybody, have a
Thank you.
birthday,
Have a
guys.
good
Bye.
day. Good.
Everybody.
Are you gonna drop me?
I tried. It wouldn't. There we go.
I brought him on, so I had to. And you just freaking did it again.
Dang it.
Because I brought him
cool was
back,
that, Gunny?
so you couldn't drop him. Dude, it's always fun, this time of year when we do the Marine Forum or the Veterans Day stuff, and we had a different group of veterans, minus myself, you and Theory this year. So it was great having everybody on and getting to know everybody a little bit and a little bit about their life events and their Marine Corps journey.
Oh hell yeah! No, it was awesome. And we had different people, like you said, we had different people got different perspectives. Granted, this is a big one, 250, but we know as Marines, every birthday's a big one. We don't care if it's a 250. We don't
and I
care.
was going to say something about it earlier. Is you have the Army that they're fanatics about being with the big red one or the 82nd or the 101st, right? It's not about they're not fanatical about being in the Army. It's about the unit pride, right? We are crazed fanatics about being Marines. Period. It doesn't matter if you were motor T. I mean, most of the guys tonight were aviation at one point in time, right?
Wing,
Myself included, right? And we all still had great conversations about being Marines, right? It wasn't about the specific units we were in. It was about being Marines. And at the end of the day, there's only been 6.7% of the total U.S. population has served in our military. Think about that percentage for the Marine Corps, because we are the smallest branch.
Yeah.
Right. So we are probably somewhere around that 1-2% of total U.S. population that has served this country. So, there's a lot to take pride in when, we do the most with the least, and, the least budget as well. And a lot
you
of
also got to look at it this way. Yeah. You got to look at it this way. Our title, United States Marine, is not just given to us. It's earned. We have to earn that title, and we never lose that title. That's why they say once a Marine, always a Marine. To the day I die, I'm going to be a Marine. And then once I die, I'm going to go to heaven, and I'm going to guard the pearly gates. I'm going to start my fire watch at the pearly gates. So,
gunnies don't pull fire
you
watch.
can join the Army. Well, I'll be, I'll be, Gunny. You might though. You never know. Chesty's up there saying, Gunny, you're pulling fire watch.
Right. Right. You think
All
you
right,
did something?
This is you, Gunny. Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. Surround yourself with people that are going to bring you up and not tear you down. And especially this coming week, this month, where the Marine Corps is celebrating our 250th anniversary. Veterans Day is tomorrow. Like I just said, 6.7% of the total U.S. population has served this great nation, and we are still a great nation, no matter what anybody wants to believe, no matter what propaganda people want to try to shove down your throat. You 6.7% signed your name on a dotted line, a solid line, 10, 15 times per contract, saying that you would support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Thank each and every one of you for being here, for answering that call, whether you were drafted or you volunteered. And no matter what, nobody can take your service away from you. Period. You made it through your recruit training, your boot camp, whatever you want to call it. You can make it through anything.
Yeah, amen on that. Don't let the dark days win, like Gunny said. In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You are not alone. That's so powerful. Gunny and I might not have talked for 20 years, but he was still here. And I longed for that friendship again. And luckily we were able to reconnect. And I got friends from high school that I talk to every 3 or 4 months. But I guarantee you, if I called them right now, they would show up if I needed them to. And I'd be the same way for them. If they needed me, I'd be there for them as well. So remember, though unseen, you were deeply held in the hearts of others. You're not alone. Then I'm going to throw this one up there too. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, we rise, and we carry each other forward. That right there is so powerful, especially in today's age where you got this, I'm a combat vet, you're not a combat vet. Bro, it don't matter. We all signed our name on that dotted line, regardless if we served peacetime situation, humanitarian situation, wartime situation. It don't matter. We all signed our name on that dotted line. We have to carry each other forward. As long as we keep putting each other down and saying, well, your service is not warranted enough to be considered a veteran, bro, cut it out.
Yeah, you can't pick and choose. You can't get pick and choose. The DOD and the Marine Corps in your branch of service dictates what you get to do. And, you can't pick and choose if you want to go and, see combat and be part of combat operations. It's not fun at all. Being blown up is not fun. Being shot at is not fun. Yes, we train for it, but it's not fun. It's not glorious.
Yeah. Yeah. And hashtag be someone stranger. We talk about this all the time on HomeFront Sitrep. I mean, it's even on our challenge coin, be someone stranger. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger. So if you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, "Hey, how you doing?" And if they give you the red flags, "I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm living the dream." Ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And you have to be ready for that conversation, because it could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for that conversation and mean it when you ask that next hard question.
Yeah, and it takes a village. You use your contacts, use your friends. Most everybody's on social media these days. Open up your contact list and see how many of those guys and gals that you served with. You ain't talked to one in a while, hit them up, just ask them how they're doing. You're having a crappy day, just let them know, hey, you got a couple minutes to talk, or pick up your cell phone, do what my friends Dan and Babs does, and open your contact list, scroll through, smack a name, call them up, see if they have a minute to talk. Sometimes that person on the other end just might need to hear your voice when you think you need to hear theirs.
Yeah. It's all about finding your village, your tribe, your community, where you feel like you fit in. Because a lot of times there's great service organizations out there for us veterans, but if you don't feel like you fit in and you feel like you're an outsider, it's not going to help you. So you got to find your village, you got to find your tribe that fits you. Regardless if it's equine therapy, whether it's Marine Corps League or AMVETS or VFW, wherever, find your tribe,
or
purpose.
create your own.
Or create your own. There you go.
Follow your passion, and you will find your purpose.
Yeah. So big shout out to our partners, Heroes Media Group. Adam Bird at Heroes Media Group, man, he's friggin' phenomenal. So check out heroesmediagroup.com. Then we got Reese Across America Radio, which you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find it on reaseacrossamerica.org/radio, or you can download the Audacity app, TuneIn app, or iHeartRadio, and search the word Reese, and you can find us there. Then also a big shout out to Military United Podcast Streams, Elite Engraving, who did this amazing hat right here for HomeFront Sitrep. Small veteran-owned company in Campbellsburg, Kentucky. So up close to Gunny there.
About halfway in between.
Husband and wife. Yeah, husband and wife couple. They created Elite Engraving. They do all kinds of things for weddings and whatever. So go check them out. And then sameflagsameoath.com. Becky and Matt Johnson out of Katy, Texas. They do t-shirts. They have hats. They've expanded to other things as well. They're super busy, but they do phenomenal work. Uncle Sam is wearing our shirt, Marine It Down. So you can go to sameflagsameoath.com, go to co-branded. You can find our shirt there. Or you can go check out homefrontsitrep.com and go underneath the merch, and there's a link to the hat and there's a link to the shirt. Also, big shout out to Valor Coins and Pins, Mr. Brent Casey and Brian Casey, grandson of the Marine of all Marines, Medal of Honor recipient Herschel Woody Williams. They are phenomenal. The Woody Williams Foundation, who does Gold Star monuments for Gold Star families across the country, in cities, wherever you want to put it. they will come out and put a Gold Star monument up. So go check out Herschel Woody Williams Foundation or the Woody Williams Foundation, and then also Valor Coins and Pins. We missing anybody, Gunny?
RDC Shoes, man. Right? Marine owned and operated.
Yep. RDC Shoes. If you've seen, was it Pete Hegsmith? He was wearing them on the Today Show. The shoes that RDC Shoes come up with. They got the Glory, the Patriot, and the Folds of Honor shoes that they got. And they also have a golf shoe that you can buy as well. So go check them out at rdcshoes.com. Like I said, a Marine Corps veteran. Then didn't he go Army too, right? Marine, then Army, I believe.
Police.
So go check out. I thought he went to another branch of service right after the Marine.
Just police. Marine, then police.
I have to go back to. So yeah, go check out rdcshoes.com. And then CavArts. I can't say enough about cavarts.org. If you're a veteran and you are artistic, like Theory or Anthony, who does tattoos, CavArts is a place for you because it's Challenge America Veterans in the Arts. You can learn how to play guitar. You can learn how to do a podcast. You can learn how to do 10. She likes your hat. There's all kinds of things that you can do on cavarts.org. So if you're a veteran, go to cavarts.org, sign up, and then you'll get approved into there. So go check out cavarts.org. Other than that, Gunny, it's that time of night, my friend.
I think that's it.
Yes, sir.
See you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday. Happy 250th birthday, Marines. Stay safe out there. We got your six.
We got your six.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.